Checkers, records, and more. Brought to you by Howe, Patio, and Windows. They bring you premier windows, sunrooms, siding, and roofing in all of Southwest Michigan since 1983. Checkers, records, and more. Brought to you by Howe, Patio, and Windows.
Jesus, we thank you so much for this bountiful harvest of Domino's, KFC, and the always delicious Taco Bell. I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my two beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR as we call him, and of course my red hot smoking wife.
I'm coming alive, I'm real when I'm on the rise. You see the look in my eyes, it's going down right now. And I'm taking my shot, way up at the top, up at the zone, we ain't gonna stop. It's going down right now. Get ready right now. Get ready right now. Get ready. It's going down.
What is going on, everybody? Happy Monday, as Paul says. I'm sorry, I can't take this under
my
there.
line. Damn
Say
it.
it again.
Happy Monday, everybody.
There you go. Man, it's like it's been a while.
It's been 7 days. It's been
7 days.
so long. Hope everybody's having a great day at home. We're having a good day here. It's not raining. That's always good. Tom made it through 131. Did you come that way? No. Smart.
He was smart.
Yeah, 131 northbound is a disaster.
Yeah, what happened, Paul?
2 flat tires. And the world ended. So there's that.
Okay. So make sure you guys like our page, you share our live stream, and comment, ask Tom questions. I'm sure he's got a lot of stories that he could share, and he's full of knowledge, I feel.
Camera.
Oh, what's the matter?
There we go.
Oh,
I was kind of off camera.
No, well, that works.
Yeah.
Huge thank you to our marketing partners, Howe, Patio, and Window, Kalamazoo Speedway, Finish Line Landscape Management, Finish Line Handyman Home and Repair, EMA Enterprises, Top Row Racing Media, and Alicia, of course, for everything that she does for us.
Wait, did you say How Patio and Window or
I
Windows?
think I did say window. Sorry, Kenny.
Can only buy
Windows.
one. Can't do
So,
plural.
Yeah, I know. So thank you, everybody, so far for joining. Paul's dad, of course, is always on there with us. James Scott, Bubba, what's going on, man? Matt Elsie's on there. He said the weeks go by slower when we aren't racing at the zoo.
That's
It's
facts.
yeah. And then Kelly, what's going on? She wants to know, was it the ratchet strap? Did I miss something with the ratchet strap?
Trying to, if this has something to do with Super Shoe, maybe.
I
I don't know. It was a little fuzzy.
A little bit.
I don't know. We'll move on.
So a couple of shout outs from the weekend over at Winchester. Ricky LeDuc came in third on Friday night and then fourth on Sunday after hitting the wall. And I that picture, if you haven't seen it yet, he's lucky. That probably should have broke, came apart. And then you got a couple.
We've had a really good run. We talked about it all year. It seemed like guys that came on this show were in victory lane within a week. And we're kind of keeping up on that. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, we had Brandon Hollis on the show. He was on the crew for the Winchester 400 winner. I'll keep my mouth shut on my thoughts on that there, but congrats. I'm happy for Brandon because I like him and he's a good dude. And then Tyler Rohrig winning at IRP and then securing the little 500 or the 500 sprint car championship. So that was super cool. A lot of great talent, having good weekends, and sucks. I don't know. Did you see the mod wreck from yesterday?
I caught a little bit of it. I don't know who was in it.
I enjoyed the comments. That's really
okay.
That's really why I go there. But it sucks to see 2 leaders tear up equipment, but it is what it is.
And then also, I believe Nick Pressler got fourth on Friday's race and ended up having to go home because they rescheduled Saturday's race. But
yeah, shitty weather across the board. So glad they got what they did there.
Yeah, definitely. Brandon wants you to send him your thoughts.
I will. I'm not even surprised about what Nasty did.
Hold on. Is he the one that slipped the tires? Okay,
could
we're
spend
going
all-
on.
We could spend all night
We're
on
going
this
on.
subject,
All right.
so.
Just a reminder, we've got the fundraiser for the Kalamazoo Cares for Kids going on again. We've got a couple of donations in already, so thank you for those who have donated. Like I said, if we can get $2,500 before December 4 or by December 4, Paul and I are going to go jump into a lake. And yeah,
Lake Michigan.
well, Alicia made a valid point. They kind of block it off in the winter. So we might
yeah.
have to pick a random lake and just go jump in.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully there's no ice.
Whatever.
Either way,
We'll
we're
figure it out.
gonna pull our plunge. We're gonna have fun with this. Brandon said no comment on the tires.
Now I do have to call. Excuse me. I'll be back. I'm gonna make a phone call.
Oh boy. Other than that, I mean, do you have any updates that you want to go over before we move on?
No. It sucks. There's not a whole lot of racing to talk about this time of year, which always is a battle, but it leaves us more time for our guests.
I agree. So with that, let's bring our guest
So
on.
if you're doing shots at home, that's one.
Did I say? Like that, joining us, Mr. Tom Rutherford. First off, thank you again. You've made a heck of a trip coming from work today, so we appreciate you making the trip over to us. Before we're going farther, Chuck says he's got a pool in Florida we can jump in.
Heck yeah.
I mean, that's kind of cheating. We won't work on that.
Throw some styrofoam icebergs out there. It'll look like the real thing.
Should we show a video of our Titanic scene?
No.
No, that's what I was thinking. Probably not. So I always start out with the question of who is Tom Rutherford?
That's a solid question. Probably a good one for my wife to answer. Honestly, I would say pretty low key, shy, down to earth, just racer. You know, I love racing and just hang with my family. So that's about it. Pretty simple, really.
It is pretty simple. I'll give you that. Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Why number 70?
Well, that's actually Ronnie's number, my car owner. So
Okay.
the whole deal there is, you know, he pays the bills. It's his number. You know, I want him to be cheering on a car with his number on it. Mine was always 47. The reason behind that was when my dad started, he was 74. So growing up, I always made all these cool pictures and everything that said 74 Junior and all this stuff, you know, and then I got to like 12 and I'm like, I'm just going to flip the numbers, Dad. So we ended up doing that. So yeah, it's all just based off my dad's number.
That's super cool because I'm the same way. My dad was 15 and I'm like, can't do that. Gotta be 51. Yeah. So my crew chief also said this dude has one hell of a first name. His name's also Tom. So
yeah, he's
comment of the night right there.
I like him.
Brock Gannis says goat. So that's good. All right.
I love Brock.
Wait, did you get to see Brock at Super Shoe?
We went home every night. I seen Brock the next morning. So I made the comment that he's taken after his dad very well, on track and off track. And it was a compliment. So I love Jeff too. So
that's awesome.
So I probably know the answer to this, but what or who got you into racing?
Yeah, it was definitely my dad. He did a little bit of racing. Both of my grandpas actually. So they did a little bit, and I don't know a bunch of it. And I think it was really little amount. My mom's dad was more into a little bit of ownership stuff. Like I said, my dad did a little bit of racing. Then I came along, kind of took his finances away there, so he can afford to do it. So it was pretty much, he just took me to Kalamazoo Speedway every weekend. That's what we look forward to. Went there, and I was just a huge Mike Van Sparentak fan. So I still have a jacket probably from when I was 8. I want to say that's Mike Van Sparentak. I have a tire and rim from Brent Hook's car in my shop right now that we've made into a table. So yeah, a lot of cool stuff like that. And that's all credit to my dad, who just took me there every week. Like I said, I truly feel like I studied Mike, honestly. And I feel like that's where I get a lot of my driving styles from. So that's where
Nice.
Well, you answered about 4 of my questions there, so well done.
very thorough.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna digress a little bit. You had a big race a couple weekends ago. You won Michigan Cup. In your interview, you said you felt like the track owed you one. For those that may be watching that don't know what happened leading up to that, give us your side of the story.
Yeah, we so honestly the last 2 years our whole team, between me, Andrew, my cousin, with the street stock, and even my daughter and the mini wedge, like we had a really good last few years at Michigan Cup. Last year, hell, Andy cleaned them up. I think he was fast time, heat race feature. My daughter won her heat and feature. So like all the pressure was on me. Like, shit, I gotta match these guys. And I went out and we got fast time. So we were on a good pace, and then the feature come around and we drove to the front. The car was really good. And I got to the lead, was leading, and we had a caution. I think there was like 12 laps to go, maybe something like that. And the left front ball joint broke. So I wore that one on my chest for a while. And so going back this year, I was so determined. I wanted to win it so bad. There's cool trophies too. Those Michigan Cup trophies are awesome.
Springport has always done that real
they
well
always
with all
have
their big
those.
events.
So that was it. And then like I said, this year was it was really special. The weather didn't pan out, so my kids weren't there. And so my wife, I said, she was there. She ran across the track. I said afterwards, she was crying, so excited, relieved. I probably wore her out for a while on that last one. I was so pissed off. And the year before, she was crying in the trailer. So difference of emotions, and she, like I said, she's just as invested as I am. So that it was a relief, and I just felt like they owed me and I owed my team. So
Heck yeah.
Yeah, there was a couple of times the moderator this year. She was down in the infield while we were sitting there, and you can just see how invested she is when you're on that track. So it's a pretty cool to share that with her. So
yeah, she's definitely in it. She keeps our team in line. Like if you go by her trailer, like I come in, my dad and crew, they get a little wild, and she keeps them in line. She gets stuff organized. She keeps me on track. She keeps my stuff, safety gear ready for me. She changes my shields before, night to day. She keeps the car clean all the time. So she's into it, and I definitely couldn't do it without her.
So my question, so with your daughter just finishing a championship season, the mini wedges, are you looking at her as more of a priority in racing than you're racing now, or are you kind of just letting it go as it is?
Yeah, I will, as much as she wants it to be. We're doing basketball right now. So whatever she wants, I feel like I have a lot to take to her to help her. At first, I wasn't sure I was going, I was any help, trying to break down basics to her was a lot harder than I understood, with trying to say like, lift earlier, move your corner entry out, and she just looks at me like, what the hell are you talking about? So that stuff, I felt like this last year, she's matured a lot. She, I've learned a little bit of understanding how to tell her things, and she's just very, very smart. So, yeah, whatever, whatever she wants to do, I hope she likes doing it. I hope she wants to do it for a while, keep her into something. But if there's a school sport that falls in front of it that she wants to do, I'll more than happy to do that, because she's got that for a limited time, and we could always race after. So
I think, you kind of hit on the head that Chad took over the mini wedge program this year, and I'm his buddy, so of course I'm going to help him. And not really knowing, I kind of expected more of a shit show, to be honest with you, on what it was. But
Yeah.
the kids really pick up quick, and you can tell they race for all the right reasons. Whereas, as you get older, we're doing it for a lot of other reasons. And it's really cool. She progressed so much this year, and she was kicking ass at the end. Really kicking ass. So.
Yeah. She, like I said, she gained a lot. She learned a ton. And like I said, to get, I think there towards the end, that last race, she was really good. And Bubba even come over to me and, complimented me, and actually went to her and complimented her, so being with somebody I've raced with for a long time, I respect, and that meant a lot. So that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the other helpers said she was my favorite junior, and her attitude was always top notch, no matter where she placed. Which, yeah, she always had a smile on her face. So.
Thank you.
All right, Paul, go ahead.
All right, so you kind of touched on at a local level some of the idols you had growing up. What about at a national level? Was there ever, like somebody in NASCAR back in the ASA days that you were like, damn, that's who I want to model my career after?
Yeah, just Dale Earnhardt. Kind of feel like that's everybody. So nothing real cool there. He's just a bad dude, and like he's kind of like opposite of me. I'm like I want to be the nice guy there. I want people to like me, and I don't want no one mad. And he didn't care and just whooped on him. But my dad loved him, and I kind of fell towards my ways. So I definitely was him on the national level for sure.
It's fair.
Looks like your daughter said she's going to keep racing like your dad. He better watch out.
Yeah, she's already warned me about fitting in the seat. So that's okay.
So you've raced quite a few different types of cars. What would you say is your favorite?
It's honestly, it's tough. I love modified racing. I feel like I still have a little bit more to prove there, for me to move away from that class. But I'd probably say street stocks. I love street stock racing. That's probably my favorite.
That's been a common answer. Pretty much anybody who's driven multiple divisions, that they always kind of go back to that.
Yeah, and I think my family, my dad, my wife would probably appreciate that too, because it's a lot less stressful and a little less time in the shop, and I probably would wear them out a little less. So they'd probably like that answer. Probably Ronnie too. It might be a little cheaper.
All right, I'm gonna flip it around. What's been your least favorite?
Oh,
Super late models.
Oh, do tell us why.
Really, it's the speed. I love the speed. I love driving. I feel if I would have had a Barton Brooks with me, like I had, Barton's kind of there helping me now in the modifieds. If I would have him there with his knowledge and experience to help me, yeah, but that's to a level of time commitment, money, and knowledge that I think is past me. If I could show up there and I can drive one of their cars and they tell me what I'm doing wrong, I'd fucking love it. But it doesn't happen that way, and I don't have that kind of time to try to be at that level. And if I'm not, I'm kind of grumpy. So it wasn't very fun. And I appreciated the shots at trying to do it, what little time I did do it, but yeah, it's just a little above what I can afford to do, or obviously talented enough to do right now. So
I disagree on the talent side of things. I think anybody who watched you, even this year at Kalamazoo, you're one of the cleanest racers out there. So
I appreciate that.
Back to you, Chad.
A little off topic here. Do you prefer formal award banquets or just the end of your party?
These days I probably would do formal. Back when we actually had them, I probably would have said easiest going, just because I didn't want to talk in front of nobody.
Look at you
older
now.
I got, yeah, hell, I'm doing a podcast right now, and I did a radio one not too long ago. I talk to guys every day at work on the phone, so it was cool. Looking back, I wish I would have enjoyed it more. It felt really like I accomplished something throughout the year. It just felt legit, So But I don't really point race much anymore. So it's like nothing I'm gonna get to do. So sorry if I'm making a mess for anybody else out there.
No,
But
no.
I always, if I was to point race or say win a championship this year, I would love to be going to the Radisson or something and, accepting it and like that. So I think that'd be pretty cool for those guys.
So I think you just kind of answered this, but at this point in your career, do you prefer just to go race for wins and race those bigger shows? Or if they ever put together a really great points package back at Kalamazoo Speedway, would you want to go race for a championship?
Nah, not really. No, I don't have much desire for it. I like to show up, try to win. I'd like to be able to hit different tracks. Really enjoy going to different ones, learning. And when it's a 98% chance of rain, I really don't feel like sitting out there waiting it out and all that stuff. And my time just feels so limited. I have a lot of stuff to try to do with kids and stuff. So I'm past that. I'm not going nowhere past what I'm doing right now. So I'm pretty sure whoever likes me is going to like me for what I've done, or if I won a championship. So I'm happy with it. So.
Oh, man, I just had this conversation with my dad over the weekend where I used to love running for points. And then, we did it the last few years at Kalamazoo did it. And I'm like, I don't miss that. Like the once a month was honestly perfect for how busy you get and trying to maintain equipment and do everything else like that. So I get that 100%. I'm going to back one up, Chad, just to
You're
go
good.
back.
You're good.
So tell everybody about your day job, because there's on my phone on my desk 4 saved people in there and you are number 1. So I call you a lot. Tell everybody what you do.
Yeah. So I just I'm a lucky. It sounds like a fairy tale when I'm 13 years old and I'm writing this out, but I sell race car parts and high performance parts. So yeah, it's not a bad gig. If FedEx and UPS quit fucking up everybody's orders, I would have a perfect job, honestly. So I work obviously Lane Automotive, Motor State, All Star Performance down there in Waterville. Been 13 years, I think now, something like that. So met so many cool people, talked to a lot of cool people. Honestly, that's where most of my opportunities have come from, driving these cars for people is all through that, relationships over the counter and building trust and just stuff like that. So it's an awesome job. Like I said, sounds better than it is sometimes, because there's a lot of stress of stuff that's out of my control that I get yelled at about. But yeah, selling race car parts ain't a bad thing. So that's pretty sweet.
I'm glad you're there.
I know when I first started, he's like, get hold of my guy Tom over his lane. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I got you. So if you were a track owner, what's one rule you would change?
That's a good one. I want, ideal for me, I want an option for some creativeness. So essentially, say a street stock, I want a roof height, a deck height, and then I want you to get off my back and let me build something cool in between there. So I don't want everybody's stuff to look the same. I want something to look cool, and I understand if I got a 37-inch ledge on the car. Yeah, that's stupid. But yeah, I just want to see some creativeness. It's tough when, when you get griped at about whatever rake and stuff. But if you want something to look cool, we put a lot of time and money in these things. I just want something to look cool, and that would be what I would do.
I see Paul kind of chuckle over there. What's your thought on that?
And I don't know if you caught the thread yesterday. I think it was yesterday, sometime this weekend over at M40 about kind of straying away from how street stocks currently look and allowing or having more wild looking cars or, non Monte Carlo looking cars. And I think that's awesome. You guys have one. AJ Foote had a badass looking street stock, and there's a ton out there. I mean, I remember when I started in street stocks, I raced against 55 Chevy, Camaros, all sorts of stuff, and it's not like that anymore. So
Yeah. No, and I feel like fans kind of connect to that, and maybe you gain new fans from that or whatever.
Yeah.
If they want the cool car, just like with Brent with the Nova, you know, like that was a cool car, and people graduated to that for that. So now you're kind of getting put into a box where that's not an option, so you get penalized too hard for it.
So
these
I
couple great comments
good
coming
comments.
in.
So I'll read the first one from Lee Slayton. Tom is one of the cleanest, most respectful racers I've ever raced with. A lot of young racers can learn a lot paying attention to how he plays the game. 100%.
Thank you, Lee.
Ricky Leduc wants to know, do you like
boy.
racing with or without radios? And then Andrew said, probably without because his spotter sucks.
No, Andrew's an amazing spotter. He helps me a ton. So, you know, it's tough. If I did it more, maybe I'd have a better answer for it. To me, I like without. I understand the aspect of not tearing stuff up, but I like the awareness, alertness that, you know, I've learned that for 20 years, you know, and that's what I've built up. I understand, you know, I can hear cars, I feel different things. So when I have a radio, that kind of relaxes, you know. Andy will tell me you're 2/10 faster on the bottom. I'm like, I don't feel faster. And he'll yell at me, get back to the bottom. And I go back, and then it's like I feel like I'm burning the right front off. And I go back to top. Then he yells at me again. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like I get out of my element. You know, I just don't know if I have a natural instinct with the radios, but that could be, like you said, just maybe that's just because I haven't raced a ton with them, or maybe I'm doing something wrong. So kind of maybe more radio racing I do, maybe that'll change. I don't know.
Well, there you go, Ricky. All right, Paul, go ahead.
All right. Do you prefer short races or long races?
I seem to do better in long races, honestly, but modified racing has bumped up my aggressiveness a little bit. So maybe I'll start doing a little better on these short ones, but it seems like all the races I ever win always seem to be a little bit longer. So I don't know. I feel like I get into a rhythm. I've always been able to be fairly smooth and save my stuff, I feel. So that kind of benefits me, but yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes it's a little as tight as the fields are anymore. It's just so hard on the short races without being that asshole to try to get up there, you know, and I don't want to be that guy. And then you just feel like you're missing out there.
Yep.
Bo Smith said, always enjoyed racing against him this year at Wasso Speedway. I was running fourth right behind him at Nationals. What actually broke on the car?
I doored. I accidentally just talking about trying to be clean, and I doored into somebody. Yeah. So I had, I don't remember what it was, some in the front suspension there. So, yeah.
Hold on. Andrew said that was me. He was behind.
Oh yeah. I was to say he must have, Andrew blew a motor. So
Ooh.
Yeah, that was way worse.
Yep, street stock. So, all right. So, what's your thoughts on Madhouse restarts?
It's exciting, I guess. Car owner wise, probably doesn't prefer it, but no, it works really great. I feel like certain tracks, I don't, man, it's stressful as hell under cautions. I'm pace laps and like I'm constantly trying to count where I'm at and then trying to anticipate and count how many cars are hitting the bottom so I know which lane to hit, and I always pick the fucking wrong one. So yeah, if you take that out of my hands, I'd probably be better. So but no, I like it at other tracks. It worked really good for me at Owasso. A lot of guys weren't going up there, and I kept jumping to the outside, so that worked in my favor. Just Kalamazoo, I feel like you got good options, both there. But you go to Galesburg, Owasso, some of them other tracks, it seems to be beneficial.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the biggest answer we get is like Kalamazoo, you really don't need it because you have, basically 3 racing lanes that you can pick from. Like Owasso with only 1 lane, like it's good for that.
Yeah,
so,
all right. Do you and or your team have any wild racing superstitions or pre-race rituals?
I don't think so. My wife might have to answer this one. I usually have a black all-star shirt on, but lately I did win a race this year with my daughter's shirt. But no, I don't think so. I really don't. Not that I can think of.
All right. One of these days we're going to be surprised.
We will.
Somebody
There'll be
come up with
some
something
random
crazy.
thing out there like, yep. What's your favorite short track to race at and to be a fan at?
That's tough. I just really like them. I guess used to be was the old Bristol. It's kind of come around a little bit again. You know, it's kind of a cool track to go. I got to race a street stock there, kind of. You know, got wrecked in practice, but it was that was cool. Other than that, I don't. Owasso was fun. I really just enjoy going to any local track. Honestly, I don't know that I have a favorite. Honestly.
Brad Stowell says, keep the questions coming. You give him a break or he's going to want that Visa card number.
I got to memorize. Don't worry.
Oh. All right, Paul, go ahead, man.
I always like to go to the other side of Chad's questions. What's a track you've raced at you don't really care to go back to
Oh, boy.
for any type of reason?
Damn. Gotta think of what tracks I've raced at. A track that I've been to. What if I've never been there and just don't have a desire to?
Oh, that works too.
Yeah, I seen that. And I feel bad because I've never even been on the premises of it, but just to see it was honestly Mount Lawn. That I don't know. It just is not. It looks like a go-kart track around a baseball field, and I've just had zero interest of going there. So
That's a pretty great way to describe it.
yeah,
to be
I
honest
don't.
with you.
Most tracks I've been to, I feel like I've been pretty fun. If I didn't like it the first time, it was probably because I sucked. So next time around, it's like we got better, and I was like, oh, this place ain't too bad.
Okay.
But for some reason, I will see like a Mount Lawn race posted, and I just don't even look at it. So sorry.
All right. You and Andrew run side by side. White flag, 10,000 to win. How aggressive are you getting?
Oh, I'll for sure door him. And he with me. I don't I'm not gonna wreck him. I love him to death, and I know he's gonna be aggressive on me, but I'm gonna be aggressive. I'm gonna sail it in there and try my hardest. I gotta make sure one of us win, or Ronnie's gonna kick my ass. So, yeah, no, I'm gonna sail it in there. I'm gonna race him hard. I might race him I honestly race him just like I do anybody else. Only time I feel like maybe in different circumstances, if the leader is leaving me and he pokes under me, I will be more forgiving on him to catch. If I don't think I'm catching them, I'm not going to hold him up to catch them. But if I'm racing him for a win, I'm running him just as hard, but I'm not going to wreck him. So
Yeah, that's a good
we'll,
answer.
We'll
though.
trade some paint. But
All right. Who's been one of your favorite people to race against in any division?
so favorite. Well, some of them beat me, so they're not always fun, but like a fun one, just a fun person. Honestly, I don't know why this randomly just hit me, but a fun one that I remember racing with back was Hank Miller. And it's we would roll out for practice, and that dude had his cell phone out trying to take a picture of me as we're driving down the backstretch on pace lap or practice laps. So I'm like, what the hell are you doing, Hank? So yeah, Hank was just a fun person to race with, be around, always laughing and good time.
I haven't heard that name in a minute. That's awesome.
He was such a fun guy to be around at the track.
Brad Smith says, one of the best in the sport. Can't wait to be able to turn some laps with him.
Yeah, I'm excited.
All right. Any rivals at the track?
Hope not. Try not to.
That's good. Paul, go ahead.
Any good Gary Howe stories?
Oh boy.
No, like I said, I was pretty shy, low key. So I kind of, yeah, I'm pretty. Only time Gary texts me or anything would be when he wants some window nets or seat belts for the racetrack. So other than that, he doesn't bother me too bad, and I don't see him too much. So
You never gotten yelled at by Gary Howe?
I don't think so.
Have you ever yelled at Gary?
Yeah, maybe once. Like one time, I think he was up there. I don't remember if I was yelling at. It might have been him. I was one of them about not throwing a damn caution. So yeah, I don't know. One of them was up there. I was yelling at. He might have been in that area.
Single car qualifying or group qualifying?
I like the pressure of single car qualifying. I've always felt like I did pretty good in it, but I just like the attention for the one car, the sponsor attention, just the whole crowd drawn onto it. Like I really liked even that deal they did for the modifieds this year at Kalamazoo when they let us qualify after the show started. That was cool. At least it gives us a little bit more in front of the crowd, with less cars out there. It's kind of in that same thing. So, yeah, I think it's really good for the sponsors, and gives people to, focus a little bit less on the chaos going on, because if you've seen those modified races, all hell broke loose very fast. So, yeah, I like single cars.
All right. It's been a while since I asked this one. I kind of dropped the ball on it, but any place to get Tom Rutherford merchandise, shirts or hats or anything like that?
Well, I'm pretty sure there will be next year. My wife always orders this stuff, and then people see it, and they're blowing her up. So, yeah, I actually had some stuff designed or working with Buddy for my daughter. I didn't get that stuff all panned out, and I get sidetracked and busy. So, yeah, I gotta get with Buddy. Of course, it'll be something to my wife will probably take care of it all, but yeah, through Buddy, we'll do something next year, most likely. I don't know if it'll be something just with maybe me and Andrew together. But yeah, I'm sure something will come along. We have something next year.
All right. Keep an eye on us social media. That's what we're hearing.
Yeah, Daisy said next year for sure.
So she's on it. They left it up to me this year, and look what happened.
Yeah, it's like she always handles my stuff too. All right, go back to younger Tom Rutherford. What's one piece of advice you would give him?
Yeah, just enjoy. I still do it. I get so damn focused and worked up to be good or succeed on something and don't enjoy that moment. So yeah, I just look back to enjoy the moments, enjoy the good, the good times. So you needed to do that a little better, and I try that now. My wife does a good job of preaching that to me, so I'm getting better with that.
Wives are pretty good about doing that.
You need the reminder. I think we're all guilty of
Yep.
being a little hot under the collar at the racetrack sometimes. Huh. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, yeah. All right, Paul, you got anything else?
I got one more.
All right.
You got more?
Just the word association.
Okay, cool. All right. Thank you, sponsors. Who gets you or who has gotten you to the track in 2023?
Yeah, for sure. Probably the big one this year would be Barton. Barton Brooks with Triple B Fab. Most of you guys probably know him from Mark Shook's crew. Built few cars, obviously. So Barton's been so successful with the late models and the template car stuff with Shook and Frazier, and then with Jerry getting in the template car and stuff like that. So speaking of the devil.
Speaking of the devil. Oh my gosh. He likes to do this.
So
Welcome.
he just interrupted us straight in the middle of this podcast. So I was. You just interrupted me. Say hi, I guess. Jesus.
Because you took our chairs away.
Somebody sold our chairs.
Oh, there's Donna. Shoot. This got ugly. So yeah, Barton's for sure was a big one this year. He redid my whole car front and back, went a whole different direction. getting them into the modified stuff, hopefully trying to get a market for him there. You know, was hoping to be a little more successful early on, you know, but I was learning stuff. He was learning stuff. Hell, I think my car was at his shop like 4 or 5 different times, you know, and he was going through it and we're different notes and redoing stuff. And I took like 4 vacation days to go with him and test and stuff. It was like, I felt like super late model stuff here. This is why I can't do it. So, you know, he was for sure huge one. And I can't thank him enough. But him, then obviously Lane Automotive, All-Star Performance. They've helped me for the last 13 years, big supporters and great asset for me to have. Buddy Head, HP Graphics, he takes care of my cars every year, takes care of my daughters. Hopefully he's going to help me with my son. So, yeah, then Steve Williams, he's out of down in Indiana, out of Maddox Automotive, one of my customers. Always just super nice guy, always wanted to help me. Always tells me anytime me or my daughter need something. So really appreciate him. And then obviously my wife, my dad, my car owners, Donnie and Rana, they are huge. Obviously, this is all because of them. You know, I can't do this stuff anymore by myself. So they help a ton. Such great people to do it for, you know, and fun to do it with. Just become, you know, we've all become a family. So have a great time. My cousin, obviously Andrew, even though he's probably blasting me on there about stuff.
Not too bad.
And yeah, my uncles, my cousins. I have so many people that pop in and out and help. It just really appreciate it.
Dang, that was good.
A+, no notes either.
Yeah, no
Always
notes.
impressive.
Give him that's impressive. So we have a little game we like to play called word association. I give you a word and you tell me your first thought to that word.
Oh boy.
Yep, it gets good.
Oh boy.
So it's got to be rapid fire.
I try.
All right, we start easy. Green.
Money.
Wow.
That was good.
That was really good. All right, food.
Steak.
Drink.
I would say Coke.
Beer.
Not a fan.
Music.
Rock.
Band.
Linkin Park.
Country.
Morgan Wallen. That's for my son. Hi, Eli.
State.
North Carolina.
Track.
Kalamazoo.
Driver.
Cal Larson.
Fast.
Cal Larson.
Slow.
Not a fan.
Cheater.
Prove it.
Damn.
The goat.
Dale Earnhardt.
Dirt.
For farming.
Asphalt.
For racing.
Clash.
Love it.
NASCAR. That was great.
Some of the best answers you've had.
You threw me off with the money thing. Usually people say go. That's that's all I
gotta have money to go. So
that is true. That is true. Yeah, that was good.
That needs to be on a shirt for next year. That's damn good.
So I have no more questions. Paul, you got anything else, man?
No, thanks again for spending your Monday night up here with us. It's been fun.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Hang out with you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you guys. I really appreciate it.
No, we appreciate you coming out. I mean, that's a heck of a drive because you're
a little drive. So we'll still catch the kids before they go to bed, probably.
Yep,
so we'll
exactly. So we appreciate. We usually ask if you want to hang out, but you got to get your kids home. Get home to your kids and wife. Not get your kids home. They're not here, folks. I promise. We went.
Hopefully they're home.
So thank you again, man. We appreciate that. So good job at Michigan Cup.
Thanks, bud. Good luck next year.
Yeah. Thanks for everybody for watching. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take care.
Thank you.
Great interview.
Is Gary still here?
I think he was wrestling something.
Oh
in the back.
gosh, he's probably wrestling my kids. Yeah, that not like, oh my gosh, you guys.
Are you concerned?
I'm a little concerned. You know, I'm going to talk real quick. He mentioned a lot about his daughter, and anyone who hasn't came out to a main wedge event at Kalamazoo Speedway, there's a few drivers that raced in that series that you could just see they have the talent, they have the mindset, they're smart behind the wheel.
Yep.
She was one of those, and she made smart moves. She didn't rush anything. She's just a very impressive driver, and that was kind of like Kelly said. You know, she was one that I look forward to seeing because she was always positive. She always had a smile on her face. It didn't matter where she ended up. She always had a smile on her face.
Yep.
So awesome. I'm glad that he came out. That was fun.
Yeah. I'm excited to see where their career kind of follows
my
after
gosh.
Tom. I think
Yeah.
family legacy is going to be there for sure.
Yeah, because he mentioned his son, and I believe his son's going to be ready here soon. So,
He did the power wheels,
yes, yep. So it'll be cool. It'll be cool to see that. So I don't think we got a crash of the week this week. We're gonna check real quick. I don't think we got one this week, which I totally understand.
Lewis has been
Lewis-
busy.
Gosh, he's probably relaxing. His mindset's probably clear now. Couple shout outs. It was his birthday. God, what day was it? It was-
Their Saturday. Yeah, I
We're
think the
failing.
14th. if I
So,
remember
Lewis,
correctly.
if you are watching, happy birthday, happy belated birthday to you. Also, a happy belated birthday to Anthony Foote. He turned 13 yesterday, which we went to Craig's Cruisers for his birthday on Friday.
What happened, Chad?
I feel horrible. I do. So I didn't know why. So Craig's Cruisers, if anyone's watching, I will never support them again.
Oh,
I won't. They were rude. I'm just gonna say the people working at Craig's Cruisers, they're the younger kids, but they're assholes. And I'm putting this nicely. I'm using a PG-13 answer on this. They were very disrespectful. So Anthony got his wristband marked for a final warning for reckless driving. And to be quite honest with you, he wasn't really reckless driving.
Were you?
I was, yes. And
Wow, what an asshole!
so, and she's been waiting for that. So there was more reckless driving from the previous races that we were watching than the race we were in. And the thing is they made, we're trained to look to who's the problem. Well, if y'all are trained to look who's the problem, you should have listened to the line, because I was telling every kid that was in line, I'm going to take you out. Now,
exactly. Role model material.
it was all for fun. And I didn't take anyone out, but
That's not what I
I was
heard.
very defensive driving. But what happened was, and I didn't know this is why he got his wristband marked, is him and I banged into each other a few times. I instigated it. I banged into him first, and I cut him off and slammed him into the wall. I didn't know that until afterwards, and I felt like crap because he said, well, I got in trouble because of when I hit you. So if you're watching, Anthony, I apologize for that. I should have taken ownership, but I didn't know that.
And Anthony, if I had $1 for every go-kart track I've been kicked out of in my life, it's nothing to be ashamed of.
No, and it wouldn't have happened if there wasn't a bunch of pricks working. And I'm saying that nicely, but I would not. I mean, I can tell you right now, we dropped $110 just to go to Craig's Cruisers Friday,
Just for us.
just for us.
Uh-huh.
Oh gosh,
Did your other guy leave?
yeah, he's done. Yeah, you scared him out again.
What do you need? Go ahead.
Oh boy,
Test.
ladies and gentlemen, Gary Howe.
Yeah. What are you finding out about?
We had a bad experience at Craig's Cruisers on Friday.
Why did you get kicked off?
I didn't, but
He caused
I
Anthony
caused the
Foote to
kid
get
to get
kicked
kicked out because I took him
Oh.
out.
See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
But yeah, we spent I think it's like $110 just for us to go. I know a friend of ours, Jimmy, went with his kids and he dropped $120 just in two families. That's $230 that they made off us, and they treated our group like crap. It's not right. If you are, and we've talked about this in the racing community, these are your customers. You treat them right or they won't return. And it's just like a racetrack. This is why we talk about these things about make short track. There goes Gary. As a track owner or track promoter, this is where you need to, even track workers, these are your customers. And it has nothing, it's the same thing. As a driver, how much you spend every night when you race?
I don't want to talk about that.
But then
Shit,
that's
it's off
all,
season.
that's all I'm saying. Like, everyone spends money to do these things. And I don't care if it's a track or a Craig's Cruisers or a restaurant, whatever. You treat your customers with respect. And that's my final thoughts. So
All right.
I won't dig too much more into that. So no crash of the week this week, which is okay.
We had a 2 for last week, so it makes up for it.
Lewis deserves to have a little break on that. So we'll just roll right into EMA Enterprises Dad of the Week.
Who's your daddy? Come on, you know who your daddy is. Who's your daddy? Dargo, tell him who his daddy is.
I'm your daddy.
That intro. So it is us up here because Alicia does not want to be on camera anymore, and Emily had to go to her job. So what do you do? Oh, it's a drum roll. So we are going to announce
Chad's
this one.
long-winded tonight.
I am. I'm sorry. It's those pills, man.
All right.
All right,
I'll
and
say that
the
on
winner
air.
is.
Throw your hands in the air if you the true player. I love it when you call me Big Pop. To the homies getting money, playing fellas like dummies. I love it when you call me Big Pop. You got a gun up in your waist, please don't shoot up the place. Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be having my baby.
So a huge congratulations to Mr. Phil Bozell as our Dad of the Week. Oh, she is bun happy tonight. So Phil had a little write up. So last week I sent AJ a message, and AJ is very busy with his job and all that, and he's like, I never seen it. So I'm like, okay, I'll just write up Phil's, and I'm writing it up, and I'm like, no, you know what? Paul's like, you're gonna have a problem when you get to these dads that you maybe don't know their life outside of the racetrack. And I'm like, yeah, you're probably right. So I'll get back into sending messages. So I sent Phil a message this afternoon. I'm like, hey, I know it's short notice. I said, but is there any chance you can do a little write-up? And he came back with this. I grew up in a racing family. Always knew I wanted to race myself. I started when I was 14 and learned along the way. Now a father to 2 super competitive kids, as that's not a surprise. My wife, Erin, and myself both grew up in the racing families, and it's amazing what that has taught us. From the dedication it takes to do something, well, to the support from others to make that possible too. No different with Bryn and Bryce. As Bryce has picked up racing and is learning along the way, every aspect that it entitles to be successful as it, and we hope he continues to do so. Bryn has made a few laps in the quarter midget and decided it wasn't for her, but that doesn't mean she's not competitive, as she is a 3-sport athlete competing in gymnastics, softball, and volleyball, which is 6 to 7 days a week. Whew. And she does very well with all of them. If anyone knows our families, they know that we stay super busy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. We work hard and we play hard, and it helps us teach lessons to the next generation as well. We are definitely a tight-knit family, as if we aren't racing, you can find us watching the kids' sports or other family members' sporting events, trail riding together, hunting together, but usually we are just doing stuff together, and we are super thankful for all the opportunities to do that.
Damn good write-up.
It's awesome.
And he's there tonight. Bryn has a game.
Yep, a volleyball game. So my write-up, and I'm actually going to read it because it kind of is a response to Phil's, and it kind of fits in perfect. So the Bozell name is a name well known around the racing community. Phil has some of the biggest accomplishments that any racer could dream of having. But if you ask Phil, none of those accomplishments mean as much as being a dad. From racing with Bryce to cheering on Bryn, there is nothing that could top that. One might ask how someone can juggle a full-time racing career and a busy lifestyle of the kids in racing and other sports, but we all know it takes a badass dad like Phil to maintain this lifestyle. It's dads like you, Phil, that are true super dads. So thank you and congratulations.
Congrats, my dude.
Dude, we got no
Yeah,
applause.
there we
Yeah,
go.
thank
Yeah,
you, crowd.
yeah.
We got a good crowd applause here. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, thank you, thanks. I appreciate that.
Waking up. It's a Monday.
It is Monday. So I don't have anything else. Man, it was a good show. It was good talking to Tom. Like I've seen him around with the mini wedges at the track, and I really never got to know him. And we've talked about this before. It's so cool doing the show that we can get to know these people that, for you, like that's your go-to guy. But for me, like I don't really, other than the mini wedges, I really never talked to him much. So that was pretty cool.
We owned one of their, I shouldn't say my dad owned one of their cars at one point. I drove it. One of the best turning late models I've ever had. But yeah, I'm trying to remember. I don't remember whose it was. It was a good car. Real good car.
Yeah. So again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Thank you for the support. I can't tell you how much it means to us. 57 episodes. It doesn't seem like it. It's awesome. I'm glad to be doing this with my buddy and having my wife help us out as well.
Thanks, Jack.
Yes. Thanks, Jack. But I can't thank you guys enough for everything that you guys do. Thank you all for tuning in again and always supporting us. Just remember, we got the Polar Plunge fundraiser going on, so I'll be sharing that often. We want to get up to $2,500, and you're going to see Paul and I do a live
What are we
Polar
at?
Plunge, $100.
Well, we got a $50 donation this weekend, so
There you go.
150. We're almost there.
150. So, and with that, it's number 2. Number 3. So 3 shots, everyone. Make sure you check in with your friends and family. The ones who need the most help are typically the ones that don't want the help. Sometimes all it takes is just an open ear to help somebody through a rough time. And with that, guys, we love you and thank you.
See you guys next week. Woo! Woo!